Hello, I'm Chris Williams from Read Comics They're Bad For You, the name of my YouTube channel. Or if you're watching this on Library or BitChute, the name of my channel on both of those websites is Comic Freak. So if you have the chance, go and subscribe to them. Only days after the new Birds of Prey movie has basically been released in theaters and now flopped, Warner Brothers has done something, and we'll read about it in this article. Birds of Prey title changes to Harley Quinn amid box office flop. Apparently, Warner Brothers is pulling out all of the stops and doing all they can to save this movie. Warner Brothers has apparently changed the official title for Birds of Prey to Harley Quinn, which follows its box office flop just as I predicted. So far, just AMC and Regal Movies have updated their websites with the new official title of Harley Quinn, Birds of Prey from the former Birds of Prey and the fantabulous emancipation of one Harley Quinn, or simply listing Birds of Prey. The official WB social media accounts, Fandango and IMDb, haven't made the change as of yet. Out of the blue, Warner Brothers pulls this stunt, probably as a publicity stunt to promote the movie, as well as basically highlighting the most popular character in said movie, that being Harley Quinn. Movies have had their names changed before, but this usually happens well before release. I mean, the last movie I've heard of this happening to was All You Need Is Kill, and they wanted to change the name of that movie because they wanted to change it to something that didn't have kill in the title. I mean, look at this. You see on this movie site, Harley Quinn, Birds of Prey. They changed the name of the movie, but they hardly changed the description under it. I mean, look at it. It still has Birds of Prey, the original title, listed in it. Buy Birds of Prey movie tickets and get showtimes. What's the point of changing the title of the movie if you're not going to change the description too? This all smells of desperation on the part of Warner Brothers here to get people to go see this movie. Not a Birds of Prey movie, but all about Harley Quinn. The reason for the change is obvious, and also something that I brought up. The flick isn't a Birds of Prey movie at all. Harley Quinn isn't even a member of the Birds of Prey in the movie or in the comics, and the movie is more the Margot Robbie Harley Quinn show than anything. Back in 2013 saw Warner Brothers take a similar approach with the Tom Cruise Edge of Tomorrow movie, which was originally titled after the novel it adapted, All You Need Is Kill, but WB changed it, citing negative chatter about the word kill in the title. Yes, but All You Need Is Kill had its name changed to Edge of Tomorrow because, well, they didn't like the name Kill. Here, it's a bit different, mainly because Warner Brothers, because they're panicking now that their movie they spent so much money making is going to fail, they're doing a desperation move and pulling this out of their behinds to hope that more people would come to see it. Even though all the people I've heard who've seen this movie have said it's not a very good movie. For one thing, it didn't need to be an R-rated movie. It's a childish PG-13 movie with a bunch of F-bombs shoved into it to make it an R-rated movie. And secondly, Warner Brothers shot themselves in the foot. Apparently, there's a large fan base of Harley Quinn fans who are basically children. But then again, I only got this from this article, so it could be true or it could be false. Hold that with a grain of salt. Birds of Prey box office disaster, blame Margot Robbie. Regarding why Birds of Prey failed at the box office, fans just didn't simply show up, as theaters are a ghost town. Harley Quinn fans, much of whom are probably young girls, were put off by the R rating. DC fans didn't bother going to see the flick, perhaps still put off by Suicide Squad. And Batman fans especially didn't show up, especially considering the major changes to the villains. However, fans did go see Deadpool and Joker, which were good films. That took advantage of the R rating. But Birds of Prey was both not good and played it way too safe, and again alienated a big part of its audience. It also didn't help that comments from Margot Robbie and Ewan McGregor specifically alienated its huge DC fan base as the pair marketed the movie to the liberal woke audience on Twitter, who are nothing more than a vocal minority, as there has been Hollywood woke flop after woke flop. Deadline event went so far as to blame conservatives, with other sites blaming males for not showing up, though again the movie was marketed to a small and insignificant part of the population that arguably have no money to begin with. There is even a scene where Harley Quinn is shown to support Bernie Sanders. Warner Brothers did everything in their power to alienate the audience. They didn't appeal to men who would want to see a bunch of beautiful women in skin-tight superhero costumes, and they didn't appeal to children who would want to go see this character by making them able to see the movie to begin with. Warner Brothers is to blame, director Kathy Yin is to blame, who never directed a big-budgeted movie before. Deadline reported WB president of DC Films, Walter Hamada, had to fix the movie. Margaret Robbie, who produced the flick, is especially to blame. It's been said Robbie passed on doing a Gotham City Sirens movie in favor of Birds of Prey, and Robbie deserves better? No, the fans do. And checking the other producers listed on the film, none of them have any comic book movie experience, not counting executive producers who probably just consult or get the title due to previous contract, i.e. Jeff Jones and David Ayer. I'll also add the Birds of Prey Rotten Tomatoes scores dropped significantly since the film's release, as it went from a high of 92% to a present 80%. So, what does that tell you? It tells you all the critics that saw the movie as part of Warner Brothers' marketing campaign, the woke RT critics, all gave it of high reviews, but that when the film was released, the other sites gave it a lot of lower rated reviews. If you take away that initial batch of high 90s reviews, the Birds of Prey Rotten Tomatoes score is a much lower. Likewise, the audience score is currently at 81%, which also dropped from the movie's release. The Birds of Prey opening weekend box office is also worse than thought, even worse than estimated once it knew the movie was bombing. Now you can see the initial high score of 92% was 1. Warner Brothers' marketing campaign, 2. The movie appealed to the woke politics of the critics, but mostly because Warner Brothers was probably paying off the critics to give them a good score so they could promote Birds of Prey. Estimates pegged the flick at a laughable $55 million. Warner Brothers eyed $45 million, another laughable number. Then the Hollywood trades revised their estimates to the low $40 million. Then estimates had the flick at $35.5 million, with the final number now known to be only $33 million. Birds of Prey has also been a disaster overseas, as it has only brought in around $46 million for a jokeable current $79 million and change worldwide gross. In China, they really don't like woke movies and people who promote such politics, and they tend to turn away from such films. So I'm not surprised that it's doing so underwhelmingly overseas. Will Birds of Prey lose money? Regarding whether or not the film will lose money, various reports are offering the film needs to bring in as much as $300 million to break even, or at least $250 million, while some sites are reporting the budget was only $80 million or so. However, reportedly due to research, some of the sets in the CGI involved the budget balloon to $100 million or more, and then when marketing and other factors are added in, the cost is even higher. It should also be pointed out that Birds of Prey faced no competition at the box office, as it was the only big movie to have opened, but it failed anyway. WB has to be in panic mode now for its second weekend. It faces the family-friendly Sonic the Hedgehog movie, which will certainly run circles around Margaret Robbie and Harley Quinn. Well, considering if you take in the likes of movies like Star Wars Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker, that took $800 million to both make and promote, if you take something like that into account, then you can see that Birds of Prey, or rather Harley Quinn now, is going to be so far into the dumpster that it is unbelievable. Not only is WB probably in panic mode, they're probably having puppies at this very moment over at the Warner Brothers offices, and they're probably, well, nearly beside themselves knowing that this is the second biggest flop in the history of their superhero films, so they must be in panic mode. And I have to say, maybe they'll learn a lesson finally. Most of these studios who make woke flop after woke flop as they are doing, they need to learn that these movies don't appeal to anyone, except for a very small minority of, well, mentally ill people. So they need to stop this. They need to appeal to the fans. They need to make good movies. The Joker should have gotten to their heads that they can make billions of dollars and not have to release a movie in China. But no, they continue to make movies like Harley Quinn here, and they need to learn that no, we do not want these kinds of movies. We want good movies. That's all we ask for, are good movies, Warner Brothers. You don't have to work any harder than that. So, what do you guys think about Harley Quinn now? Do you think it's a good idea for them to suddenly change the name on us? Leave me some comments down below, and also hit that subscribe button and then hit that like button. Also, make sure you're still subscribed because YouTube is going around unsubscribing people, so make sure you're still subscribed. Also, could you please share this video, share it on Twitter, share it on Reddit, and share it on Facebook. Share it anywhere you think it'll do the most good. Now, listen closely. It's that time of the day again. Keep checking back in all my future videos for more information on my own upcoming independent comic book, Scumdogs. I'm Chris Williams, and I'll be back again tomorrow with another video or review.